Good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP, the voice of rural America here at FYNTV.com, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, we told you that at 9 o'clock we were going to go into a local news events because some things have been going on that we just want to highlight. I want to get an opportunity to introduce you to Bill Johnson. Bill Johnson, you can find his articles on FetchYourNews.com, Dawson County, Lumpkin County, and White County. Bill's always at a meeting somewhere at one of the three. No matter when you try to look for him, he's going into a meeting. Covers about everything in that area he can possibly get to. So Bill Johnson's on the line with me. I want to introduce him, and we want to talk about this story first before we get up. Go ahead and give me the picture there. Mayor Grogan of Dawsonville calls, this is his headline, calls removal a witch hunt. Councilwoman Smith says it was justified. Mr. Johnson, are you with us?
Yes, sir, right here.
How are you doing this morning?
Doing great, buddy. Appreciate your call.
Well, I read your story here on FetchYourNews.com, Dawson County, about the Dawsonville mayor, Mayor Grogan. Highlight that because I have not followed that. Highlight that. Did they vote to actually remove him last night?
Well, not last night. They actually voted to do that last week, and he has now appealed that to the Dawson County Superior Court. The vote was 3-1. Councilwoman Angie Smith, Councilman Caleb Phillips, who's the mayor pro tem right now, or was the mayor pro tem, and Jason Power. All three of those voted to remove the mayor from office. Councilman Mike Soseby was opposed to that, and so that was the vote. It was 3-1, and on Wednesday it was appealed to the Superior Court here. The attorney for the mayor is Stephen Lytle. He is a attorney from Dahlonega, and there was an investigation conducted by Abbott Hayes, an attorney from Gainesville. He was hired by the city council. And what I was told was that he was hired to find out if there were any violations in the city of the city charter. And I assumed that meant by anyone, whether it was the mayor or other city councilmen or employees, just to see if there were any violations. Well, it appears the only person they investigated was the mayor. And the violations that they're citing, let's see, he was apparently violated. He reduced the zoning fees for several applicants from $250 to $200. Those were zoning fees. They were supposed to have charged $250. For some reason, he only charged them $200, and he did that without city council approval. Second thing, he changed one application from water and sewer, or for water and sewer, from commercial to the less expensive residential rate. Now, that was really controversial because the person that he changed it for was State Representative Kevin Tanner. But from what the mayor's attorney explains, we're talking here about a building that was less than 400 square feet. It was used as a storage facility, not as a business. And according to sworn testimony, he's never used so much as a drop of water there. So probably the mayor should not have done that without council approval, but that's what happened. Third was, yes, sir.
Say that is Kevin Tanner, state representative there in Dawsonville. That is his property, and what you're saying is he changed the application fee. That's
right.
Because according to where the zoning is and where the property was, it required a commercial fee. But
that's correct.
Okay, so I don't want to say he used common sense, but then what would ever stop Tanner, Representative Tanner, from changing that from storage? He's already got his application fee. He's already got it done. So if it's used, he doesn't use a drop of water for 2 years. As long as he doesn't change the owner of the property, he's got his his permits, right? He's got his license or whatever it is you need there for water, and it's in it's still in a commercial zone. It could change down the line. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but
exactly right.
Sometimes it's not always for the day that these things are considered maybe, a conflict that could be down the road, So
that's right, and I agree with you completely. In fact, you used the words a while ago, common sense, and to me, a building that's probably about the size of my sunroom out here, and it's never used for business, and never used a drop of water. I can understand making that change, but again, that's what they were complaining about, was that he did that without council approval. Another thing was he approved charitable donations to nonprofit organizations, and that's a practice that was going on for years and years and years under his predecessor, who was Mayor Joe Lane Cox, who died while in office, and Mayor Grogan replaced him until he was reelected again in 2015. But that was a practice that's always been going on. And at one point, the city attorney, Dana Miles, pointed out that that's not allowed under the Georgia Constitution for municipalities to donate to nonprofit organizations. Well, as soon as the city attorney pointed that out, the practice stopped. And the final thing was he charged alcohol to a city-issued credit card, and what his attorney pointed out was that the alcohol was never used for personal consumption, but it was used as a door prize at the Georgia Mountains Regional Commission meeting, and it was purchased, or I should say it was produced by the Dawsonville Moonshine Distillery, which is located in the City Hall complex. It was intended really to promote the city, because it has the Dawsonville Moonshine label on it, and so that was the other thing that he's accused of violating. And I'll tell you what, some really high up city, either current or former city officials have told me that even if the mayor did all of the things that he's accused of doing, that just does not rise to the level of removal from office. Now, that's their opinion, not mine.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting to me, Bill. That it's interesting to me that we're discussing an elected official and removal of office, and somebody saying it doesn't rise to the level of removing from office. So let me ask you, the mayor himself. Now, is he currently in office pending the outcome of the Superior Court? Where do we stand with the Superior Court statement on this?
That's exactly right. He was returned to office. He went to the meeting. I guess it was Monday night. I believe. Yeah, it was Monday night. He was at the work session Monday night and acted as the mayor. So he's been returned to office pending this appeal in the Superior Court.
And is there any timeline on when? Is there any timeline on when that appeal will take place for Mayor Grogan?
I was supposed to talk to his attorney, Stephen Leibel, today, and find that very thing out. I don't know right now whether there is any time frame or not, but I definitely want to find that out. He was, as I mentioned a while ago, he was appointed mayor in 2012 when Mayor Joe Lane Cox died, and then he was reelected in 2015. And the question I had for them is, does a city council, does three people on a city council have the right to override the vote of the citizens of the city of Dawsonville? And Angie Smith, who was kind enough to respond to my questions, said that they absolutely do. Under their city charter, they have that legal right.
Well, before we get to that, let me ask you one more question.
Sure.
Sam, did you get that picture of Angie Smith I sent you? Okay, just give me a thumbs up when it's ready. Mayor Grogan said this is a witch hunt. A witch hunt. What is his thought, general thought of all of this? I'm going to say it. These are my words, but when I'm reading this, and what's his feeling of who wants to get even with him, who doesn't like him, why the witch hunt, what is Mayor Grogan, and I'm just saying, I'm not saying that, just saying, what's he referring to, witch hunt, and why does he feel they're going after him?
Well, that's a question I asked him yesterday. He said he has always had problems with 2 of the 3 city council members. And I don't know which 2 that was, just an assumption. I believe that he was referring to Angie Smith and Caleb Phillips. Don't know that for a fact, but I believe that's what it was. And as far as why, I posed that question to him yesterday. And he didn't really give me an answer to that question directly. He said it could be one of a number of little things that added up over time, apparently, where he voted against something they wanted, or he wanted something that they were against. That was his feeling. I think the thing that really probably produced that feeling in his mind was when I first heard about this, the way I read it was the city council had initiated this investigation in order to see if anyone in the city was in violation of the city charter. And so they did the investigation, and apparently the only person investigated, the only person looked at, was the mayor. So it seems like if they were trying to find out if everybody was acting in accordance with that city charter, they would have looked at everything.
Well, I will say this, and you can check it out, and you can tell them to check it out. I know what happened in the city of Blue Ridge. There was question about the mayor's domicile in Blue Ridge and the violation of charter, the charter by the mayor of Blue Ridge. And, the mayor of Blue Ridge came back and said, well, if you're going to investigate me, why don't we just investigate the whole council and everybody? And they said, okay, we'll do that. So they did an internal council, mayor, and everybody investigation. So Grogan was the only one under investigation for anything here. Is this a 4-person, is this 4 or 5? Did you say the vote was 3-1?
The vote was 3-1. Angie Smith, Caleb Phillips, and Jason Power all voted for removal, and Mike Sosaby was opposed to it. So the vote was 3-1. So
if it's a 2-2, the mayor breaks the tie. Is that how the charter works?
That's right.
And so okay. So you're asking, and let's put up a picture. This is Councilwoman Angie Smith, and you spoke to her. She was the only council member that would go on the record with you.
I did. I couldn't reach them by phone because a lot of times city council members won't be in the office during the day. They all have other jobs.
Right.
Sure. So what I did was I sent an email to all 3 who voted for removal. And Angie Smith was really the only one that responded. She gave me a pretty in-depth response. Councilman Caleb Phillips basically just sent me an email that said, I agree with everything that Angie said. And I never heard from Jason Power at all.
Okay, Bill, let me ask you one more question here. On Angie Smith,
sure.
You asked the question, does the council have the right to override the citizens' will and wishes in electing a mayor? And she stated it's in the charter, they do have that right. What is her, what you have in your headline says they are justified. So what is her reasons that she spoke to you about to remove the mayor, and why does she feel they're justified?
Okay. She feels they were justified based on all 4 of those violations that I quoted you earlier. The reducing the zoning fees from $250 to $200, change in application for water and sewer from commercial to residential, approved charitable donations to nonprofit organizations, and charge alcohol to the city-issued credit card. Those are her reasons that she believes that this action was justified.
Well, okay, so you're trying to find out now what the timeline is on the answer from the court, the Superior Court there in Dawson County?
That's exactly right, yes, sir.
Well, Bill, we appreciate that great reporting and you keeping us up on Mayor Grogan. And so he is in office, folks, until the Superior Court answers his appeal there after a 3-1 vote by the City Council. Bill, you're in White County, Lumpkin County, Dawson County. Is there anything else at the top of the list that you'd like to share with the viewers that you have on the website anywhere? Any other stories you'd like to bring up?
Yeah, there's a couple. I'm going to a Lumpkin County Visioning Project town hall meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Then I'm working on the advanced story. The Dawson County Board of Commissioners will meet Thursday, and of course everybody right now is just starting to look at their budgets. So that'll be discussed. And then, of course, at 6 o'clock, the most important event of all, LSU and Missouri play in the SEC baseball tournament this afternoon.
Okay. You had me going. I'm hanging on every story, the most important LSU.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you did. I was hanging on. Bill, we appreciate it. You can find Bill Johnson's articles. Go to FetchYourNews.com. Dawson County, White County, and Lumpkin County, and check them out, and click on the news button there at the top and just keep scrolling through the news items, and Bill's posting things every day, and he'll keep us updated. Bill, you have a nice day. I appreciate your report, and may LSU win. All right? I'll back LSU for you.
Thank you,
Be careful. Don't bump into any politicians over that way. But that's my warning for the day.
Not to.
I'll talk to you later, sir. All right, that is Bill Johnson. Bill Johnson is our reporter over in Dawson. He is our lead reporter for the Dawson, White County, and Lumpkin County area for FetchYourNews.com. And we are looking for other reporters in that area to supplement what he's doing to continue the great work and grow that area for the citizens. Our job is to bring citizens information. So we appreciate that story. We're going to take a brief break and come back and do our Fan and County segment right after these messages. Sam, take us a break.